So I have a question for you. How does your family handle goodbyes? Not well. Okay. Well, my family seems to have adopted a strategy with procrastination. Being the last to leave a cookout or a party, even phone calls, having one more story that rekindles the conversation for 5 or 10 or more minutes. But as much as we might want to avoid them, we know that goodbyes are a part of life. Today's readings continue the 2 emotional farewells that began yesterday. In the first reading, Paul gathers the elders of Ephesus for one last meeting. In the Gospel of John, Jesus prays to the Father on the night before his passion. Both Paul and Jesus know that with their departures, suffering will follow. Perhaps like you've experienced, they're deeply concerned, not for themselves, but for the people they love and serve. Paul speaks with the tenderness of a spiritual father. He reminds the elders that the Holy Spirit has made them shepherds of the flock. And he warns them that difficulties will come, that savage wolves will threaten the community, and that they must remain vigilant. Yet his words are not fearful or bitter. They're filled with trust. I commend you to God, he says, placing the church not in human hands alone, but in God's loving care. What makes this scene so moving and relatable is the affection between Paul and the people. They weep openly because they know they're not going to see him again, and their grief reveals something important. Paul didn't simply preach to these people. He loved them. He shared their struggles. He worked with them alongside. He prayed with them. And yes, he suffered with them. His departure hurts because we all know real love always leaves a lasting mark on our hearts. And likewise, Jesus prepares to leave his disciples. His prayer also reveals his love. Again and again, Jesus speaks about those whom the Father has entrusted to him. He knows that there will be confusion and fear after his departure. Yet he doesn't ask the Father to remove them from the world. Instead, he prays for them. He prays they'll be protected and also sanctified within the world. That distinction matters. We Christians are not called to escape the world, but to remain faithful within it. Jesus knows his followers. We and all Christians are going to encounter things like hostility and temptation, and sadly, even division within the church. But he desires something greater than safety. Jesus desires holiness. Sanctify them in the truth, he prays. Jesus' concern is not simply that we merely survive, but that we become fully consecrated to God's mission, each in our own way. Both readings remind us that love often expresses itself most powerfully in the moments of being able to let go. Paul has to leave the people of the churches that he lovingly built. Jesus must leave his disciples through the cross and the ascension. If you notice, neither clings possessively to those in their care. Instead, what they do is they offer them to God. I believe this is a great reminder and a lesson for all of us, whether as a parent, a husband or wife, an adult child, a priest, a mentor, a teacher, or friend. There comes a time, and we all know this, when we cannot control or fully protect the very people we love the most. And faith means learning to place others in God's hands. It means trusting that the Lord loves and cares them and has the ability to protect them even more than we do. And we can find peace in this. For Jesus prays not only for the disciples in today's gospel, but for all who belong to him. right now, right at this very moment, Christ is interceding for us. He's watching over we, his flock, right at this moment. My brothers and sisters, it's important for us to really let this sink in, that we are never alone in our moments of fear and sadness. The same Lord who cared for Paul's churches and prayed for the apostles continues to guide and to protect his church today. And so as we reflect on these words of farewell, and at times struggle to face our own goodbyes, we're reminded that Christian love does not end in absence or loss. For united in God's love, it is love that is strengthened, love that endures from this life to one day please God in heaven.